Okay, everybody. I wanted to get on. I was going through my TikTok and my YouTube and realized that I have not really updated anybody on the implants since I got the finals on June 18th. Today is September 12th, so I figured we'd do, like an update. I did rewatch that last video, and I'm trying to remember everything I said, so bear with me, because I want to try and touch on some of the things I talked about. But first and foremost, the lisp and the whistle. There is still a slight lisp and whistle. Compared to how I was talking in that video, though, I do feel I have improved a lot. I have learned how to talk better with these in. It's not nearly as noticeable. So that's a work in progress. That's a plus. I mean, I was okay with still having a pretty decent lisp and whistle, but it's gotten much better. So nothing but kudos in that department. One of the other things I had talked about was that I was worried about, now that the gap is closed, it's not closed, but now that the gap isn't as wide, water flossing. I've obviously been water flossing for the last few months, really no difference. Because the gap is smaller, it is a little bit harder for food to get stuck up in there, but like when I eat things like ground beef, whether it be tacos, sloppy joes, hamburger helper, I will feel those get, like little pieces of meat get stuck up underneath. The water pick does just fine getting it out. Sometimes though, I will crank it the whole way up on full blast. If there's a real stubborn piece like wrapped around the implant itself, I'll just crank up the pressure and it blows it right out. So no problem there. The water flossing is fine. The only thing that I have started doing since I got these finals, I might have been doing it a little bit before I got them, but it has become a main practice since getting them, is when I put my water flosser together, I don't just use water. Let me see here real quick. I will actually dump this in my water flosser. Now, I don't fill the water flosser up with this, but this is like Walmart brand antiseptic mouthwash. I'll probably fill the flosser reservoir about a third of the way full. I'm trying to see here. I'll probably, like I said, my reservoir for my home unit, I'll fill it about a third of the way full with antiseptic, and then I fill it the rest of the way up with water. That way, when I am flossing, it is killing the bacteria around the implants and making sure that nothing gets down in the gum. I'm not real sure I'm going to be able to pick this up and show you guys, but we're going to try because it is kind of full right now. But like, here's my home unit, and as you can see, the water looks blue. I probably fill the reservoir, trying to do this from behind, probably about here with mouthwash, and then the rest I fill with water. Like I said, it's just an added benefit to making sure no bacteria get down in along the implants and screw anything up. But I will use the Walmart knockoff, cheap antiseptic. I buy it in the 2-pack, as you can see. But I put this in the flosser, and then after I water floss and brush my teeth, I use one of these two. I switch it up. But Listerine Gum Therapy, this one is actually my preferred. I like using this one better. Just because, it's meant for your gums. I obviously don't have real teeth anymore, so the only thing I have left to take care of in here is my gums, but I do prefer this one. But I also have this one that I'll use on occasion, Listerine Total Care, and these are what I use to just do my general, like, swishing and gurgling and, regular mouthwash. I only use the Walmart stuff in the water flosser to help kill the germs as I'm flossing food and particles and everything else out. The other thing I addressed in my last update was this floss. I said I was kind of having trouble using it with my temps. I'm still having trouble using it. This is what it looks like. It's meant for like implants and things, but like the whole string is pretty thin, and then you've got the thick part right here, and then this is actually pretty stiff, and that's meant to be fed up through. I have tried using this. I could only use it around the back implants, like hooking it around the teeth, but getting it up under, I struggle with it, so I just don't bother with it. I have 2 water flossers. I have the one I just showed you, and then I have a portable unit that I take to work. Sometimes the portable unit actually is a little bit stronger on its strongest setting, so sometimes I'll just use that even when I'm at home, just to ensure I get everything out. The home unit does pretty good. It's just on occasion, I feel like that portable unit does a little bit better of a job. So I'll just go over once in a while with that just to make sure I got everything out. But yeah, everything's been going good. No major problems. I did have a scare. I was water flossing one night with the Listerine and water mix, and I went up around the top here and I felt something pop. Didn't hurt, but it felt like an abscess pop. So I kept rinsing it, with the water flosser, and then when I spit, there was a little bit of blood. So I did call the dentist office the next day, tell them what happened, because I was paranoid that maybe the implant was infected. But I didn't feel any pain or there was no signs other than when I went to floss, I felt like a pressure release in my gum. After talking to the dentist, they told me that it probably was just, I probably got food stuck up in there. It irritated the gum and abscessed just the surface of the gum. She did ask me, when I was water flossing, did I keep going over that spot? And I told her, yeah. And I told her that I also add Listerine to the water flosser. And she said, oh, well, then it sounds like you flushed it out. It should be okay. She did tell me to keep an eye out for swelling, redness, pain. I've had none of that since. Literally, if it weren't for it bursting, like popping, I wouldn't even known there was anything there. I didn't feel anything. So more than likely, it was just surface irritation on the gum. Probably had a piece of food stuck up in there from lunch that day, didn't know it, and it just abscessed like the very outer layer of the gum. But it was flushed. It was good to go. So no appointment needed for that. That was my only scare since getting these. I really don't know what else to talk about, though, because pretty much everything's the same. They still feel great. The bite's still pretty good. I do use my night guard. They did send me my night guard finally. Sometimes I forget, but for the most part, I'm pretty good about it. Whenever I feel like, getting ready for bed and I'm like, oh shit, I need my night guard, I'm really usually good about grabbing it. Sometimes I'll soak the night guard in a little bit of Listerine just to make sure it kills any bacteria. So when I put it in the next night, it's not, got germs on it from the night before that are going to fester on the teeth. But yeah, everything's going good. I do think I'm talking a little bit better. I don't know, you tell me. I personally feel like there's been improvement in talking. I have had people compliment me on my teeth. It is a little awkward sometimes. I had one lady at the pool one day ask me how I got my teeth so white. And it is sometimes it can be a little awkward to tell people like they're not real. But it's whatever. Not going to lie to anybody and be like, oh yeah, I use this whitening stuff. No, I'm just going to be honest. They're not real, but they have kept their shade fairly well. I've not noticed any yellowing, discoloration, any problems with that. The gum color, my fake gum color, it is pretty comparable to my natural gum color. It's just a little bit more orange-ish, but looking at the bottom, it's pretty well the same. So they look amazing. They feel fine. Been eating any damn thing I want, without worry. If it is something that's a little bit tougher, I will rip it into pieces, break it apart. I love my Subway subs. You can't rip those out of my hand. So what I'll do is I will cut them or just rip pieces off with my hand. Pretty much the only thing I've had to change for these is how I eat food. You're obviously not allowed to have corn on the cob. So, well, at least for stabili-teeth, not all implants are like that. Some places, because they offer zirconia, are different. But with my teeth, I'm not allowed beef jerky, corn on the cob. I'm not allowed to bite directly into an apple. All of those things are easily fixable. I cut my corn off the cob. I can't have beef jerky, but, the gas stations sell those little cans of, beef jerky snus. I can eat that. I'm just not allowed to bite down and rip. Apples, just slice them up. Subs, if they're really tough bread, just break them apart. It's no big deal. But yeah, that was just a real quick update. There's really been not much change. Everything's going great. They feel great. Other than my little scare, no problems, no complications. And, pretty much just learned how to talk a little bit better. And I'm kind of honing in my how to keep them clean and sanitized skill set so that, we don't have any problems. But that's it for now. If you guys have any questions, shoot me a message. I'm going to upload this to YouTube. If you are on YouTube, just be aware, I do not use YouTube that often. So your best bet's to reach out to me on Facebook or TikTok. But all right, thank you guys.